What's going on, everybody? We're here with Behind the Lines, Episode 2, Week 4, NFL Picks Trends. We've got Thom Cunningham at TJKC on Twitter. I am Ryan Reed, also known as at DudeManPA. Thom, welcome. Glad to see you. Second week. We had a little bit of a rough start there. We had a 4-9 record last week. What do you think we can do to make this a better record this go around? And you can start by telling me who you think or what your trends lean forward in this Dolphins-Bengals game for Thursday Night Football.
Well, everyone seems to be on the under tonight, and I think I'm going to ride it. I see it's maybe up to 48 at this point, maybe 48.5. But I think the under is the best play. Cincinnati under 4 of 6 home games. Under's hit in 6 of 7 meetings, and a lot of the primetime games this year have also gone under. I think the over-under is it's like 7 of the 10 games have gone under, or maybe even 8. So I just think the under is a good play here, and Tua might be hurt. We don't know really his status, and I do think the Dolphins' D-line will eat the Bengals' offensive line alive. So I'll take the under here, and I'll just kind of ride that trend.
Excellent. So I'll keep mine quick here. I also have the under 48.5, specifically minus 107 at PointsBet. Just before the show, I found that line. And I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb here and take one that's not necessarily listed on the trends. And I'm going to jump on the Bengals at home minus 3. So you see, we started out right here at minus 1.5 at the open. It's currently minus 3.5. I feel like I kind of missed a key number there. I do think they win the game. So I'm going to go ahead and pay a little bit of extra juice and take the 3, and hopefully it's a push at worst. All right. Moving along, game number 2. We've got Vikings visiting the Saints. What do you got for us here, Thom?
Old London. They're going to be playing in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, I do believe. I'm going to go with the over here. Over's hitting 9 of 13 meetings. Minnesota, they're over machines. 8 of 11 games they've gone over. 9 of 12 road games they've gone over, and this is very much a road game for both teams involved. So I know there's quarterback issues with the Saints, but I do like the over here, and I expect Minnesota to put up some points.
All right. Well, I'm going to disagree with you on this one. We're going to split bet this one. I'm going to go with the under 43.5 on several books. You see right here, we've had a lot of movement. We've had a lot of money and movement. It's dragging the under down. I don't want to wait too long. Everybody's traveling across the pond. I have a trend written down. Let's see. Minnesota 2-1 this year on the under. New Orleans is 8-2 of the last 10.
Yep.
So I see your other side of this, but those are the ones that stuck out to me. And when I combine that with the money and the odds, I'm going to go ahead and take the under 43.5, and we can move right into the next game. Titans at the Colts. Everybody gets their first win. How do we feel about Titans at the Colts?
Let's see here. I think I'm going to go with the under in this one. I see the Colts, they're under in 8 straight. Tennessee, 6 of their last 9. Also, the under is hitting 14 of 21 games between these two teams when playing in Indianapolis. Indianapolis, they've gone under in 4 or 5 at home as well. The against the grain trend for this would be Tennessee has gone over in 9 of 11 road games, but I'm going to go with the under here.
I'm in full agreement with you on this one. If we look right here, we've got lots of money sitting on the under. We've only got 40% of the wagers, but we've got 91% of all the money that's been bet. We're going to take under. It's the highest number, 43.5 DK. Moving into the next game, the Bears at the Giants. Super exciting. Giants on a short week. We have our favorite team in the Chicago Bears, who do have a good defense, but can they score the points to pull off the win? What do you have for this one?
Well, I think the under is the best play, but if you want to take the Giants to cover, that's fine too. Chicago, they failed to cover 7 of 8 road games within the conference. The home team has won 7 straight meetings between these two teams. So there's a lot to like about the Giants winning. The spread would be a bit tricky. That's why I think the under is a safer play. It's hitting 4 or 5 meetings. New York at home, they've gone under in 12 of 14 games, and then they've also gone under in 4 or 5 overall. I just really like the under here as a safer play, but if you want to take the G-Men, I think that's okay too.
It's interesting. We're on a lot of the same pages this week. So I also have under 39.5 minus 107 at PointsBet written down as my favorite bet in this game. And I'm also a little bit weary about taking the spread. But if I was going to, I would go ahead and pay that little bit of extra juice again. I found -2.5, -125 at Sports Illustrated Sportsbook for the Giants. All right. One of the favorite games of the week. I really want to watch this one. We've got the Bills headed to Baltimore to play Lamar, the God. Lamar cannot be stopped. I've been saying that he can't throw for years, but at this point, does it really matter until he gets old?
I think I like the money line here. It's just a real safe bet. I see -150. I think that's cheap enough with some sports books. I think Buffalo is the better team. Baltimore, they've seen the road team win 5 straight games. Buffalo, they've covered 4 as the favorite coming off a loss, so they bounced back really nicely. Buffalo's also 7-2 straight up last 9 and 4-2 ATS last 6. So I just think Buffalo to win straight up, taking them cheap, somewhat cheap money line, -150. It really depends if a bettor is comfortable with paying that. I am, so I think I'd be okay with taking Buffalo's money line.
I'm going to take the home dog. You're going to give me 3 points for Lamar at home. I'm locking it in. Baltimore +3 on my end. So once again, we have a split game, but that's good. If we always agreed, that means we're not doing enough research.
Same result, though. We could get the same result if Baltimore covers and Buffalo wins. So let's hope for a 2-point win. Or
I honestly feel like this would be a good game where you would, at a minimum, push and win. I do think it's going to be 3 points. So which way would it go?
Okay.
Chargers and the Texans. Is the rib cartilage okay? Is he out this week?
I don't know. But Houston to cover seems like it's okay because the Chargers, they've lost 3 road games as the favorite. Houston, they've covered 5 straight against the AFC. They're 5-1-1 ATS over their last 7, Houston. Pretty impressive there. Meanwhile, the Chargers are 2-5 straight up over their last 7 and 1-4 straight up over their last 5 road games. So regardless of Herbert's status, I think Texans to cover is kind of what the trends are pointing to here.
Is this number serious right here? -2.5, -175.
Someone at Sports Illustrated is sleeping on the job.
I'm totally distracted while we're looking at the lines here live. But yeah, okay. I also like Houston. I was going to take them at +6, -26 on DK, but
you're not my best bet. I think the over is better.
Okay, let's see. I didn't know that
What's
one. I do not believe.
What are the point total for this game, if you don't mind? I want to see what they are. The Chargers have gone over 7 of 9. 4 of 6 road games have hit over for the Chargers, and Houston 8 of 12 home games have gone over. So points bet would be the one to go there at -107.
That's their thing this year. So instead of giving you the -110, it's kind of -107 both ways, and you gotta love that as a sports bettor. That stuff adds up over time. People don't seem to realize, but I will literally spend 5 minutes finding 2 and 3 cents. It's important.
It is. I agree. And Bosa's out for the Chargers, I'm pretty sure. So even more conviction in the over for that.
All right. So what do you want to pick? You want the over or you want the spread? I want the spread.
I'll take the over. That way we have each market covered. Yeah.
I'll take Houston +6, and you can have the over 44.
Yep.
Sounds good. Let's move on. Oh, excellent game here. Seahawks Lions. My beloved Lions. I have become a Lions homer this year. They're just going to cover every week and then not win every game, unless they were favored, which doesn't always happen.
Down, and so I want you to go first because then I'll take the opposite of what you take here.
I have a giant star written next to this one, so this might be my favorite bet that doesn't go against the trends. I have some favorite bets that go against the trends. This one I just seem to like. I like over 48 here.
Yeah, I had the over and the lines to cover as the 2 plays here. The over's hitting 5 straight for the Detroit Lions. It's hitting 4 or 5 home games. Seattle has gone over in 4 of 6 games overall. Then if you like the Lions, they're 6-1 ATS over their last 7 games. They've covered 6 in a row at home. Seattle 5-11 ATS in their last 15, 16 in their last 16 road games. So yeah, I think Detroit to cover or the over is a fine play there.
So I definitely started out with Detroit to cover, as I previously stated, that they're a bit of my homer team right now. But if we look down here, what's going on with this money and wagers percentage versus the reverse line movement we're seeing? They opened up at a -5.5. They're taking all the wagers and the money, but yet we still went down to -4. Somebody knows something that I didn't see. So I am going to skip that portion of the game, but that over seems to really just be getting hammered, and everybody likes that.
It should. Yeah.
It's only gone up 2 points, taking 97% of the cash, so I'm all in on that vote. All right, let's move to another delicious matchup. Sometimes those ugly teams just give us the most fun. The New York Jets at Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I have this one all kinds of marked up with stars and against the trend notes. I didn't even write the trends down, so I'm just going to tell you what I'm picking, and then you can go ahead and go through the trends, and then maybe it'll just be obvious. I'm taking the New York Jets +3.5.
Ooh, the Jets at +3.5. Well, Pittsburgh's failed to cover 9 of 10 as a favorite. They've lost outright 4 or 5 when taking on the AFC as a favorite. But kind of working against you, the Jets, they are only 7-17 ATS in their last 24 road games. I like the under here. Pittsburgh's gone under in 4 of 6. They've gone under in 5 straight at home. The under's hit in 5 straight meetings. The one trend working against that, however, the Jets, they have gone over in 5 of 7 road games. So maybe we see a shootout, but I'm going to take the under myself.
Under sounds just fine. I'm going to avoid it. I can't believe Old Man Joe has now convinced me to actually wager real life money on him, but I'm going to do it. Jets +3.5. I like those hooks because I lose by them often. So moving on, I know this is also a game I have listed where I think I'm going to go against the trend here. We've got Doug Peterson returning to Philadelphia. Of course, I am a former Pennsylvania resident, a lifelong Eagles fan. Sad to see Andy go. I did feel like maybe the franchise needed to do that to move on from a perpetual playoff and never quite crossing the hump. That is the way that goes. I'll just come out and say it. I'm going to take Jacksonville +6.5 down here at PointsBet with that lovely -107.
Yeah, I think
I'm pretty sure you disagree with that all the way. No, that's all right. I was dragging on there.
I don't like that market in general. I'm going to go to the point total and go over here. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. Jacksonville, they've gone over 4 straight road games. They've gone over in 5 of 7 overall, and Philly's gone over in 5 of 6 inside the link. So I just like what both offenses can bring in this matchup. I think you will see Jacksonville cover, and therefore the point total will go over, but I think Philly's going to win outright. So just give me the point total. I'll just root for scoring in this one.
All right, fair enough. I am going to disagree with that one a little bit. This is a very similar scenario to what we saw with Detroit and Seattle. Let's go to the total here. My notes state all the bets are on the over and or the over under, and the total's down 2 points. So 66 and 86 as far as percentage of bets and the percentage of the handle, and the books are thinking that that's a good idea to go chop a couple points off there to entice more wagers. Not a good idea for me. That is going to be a pass. Now, when I see that kind of movement with that kind of money, that really makes me like the Jaguars even more. And I see that they've lost a half a point. So that's where I was coming from on my end. Trends out the window. This was just analyzing where everything sat and where the lines were moving versus the money being taken. So I'll stick with my Jags +6.5. Good luck. Commanders Cowboys. Both the redheaded quarterbacks in one game. What happened?
Oh, that's good. The battle of the redheaded rifles, but neither are Andy Dalton. That's a first, so we'll have a history here. No, but I'm going to go with the over. Give me the point total going over here. Dallas over 7 straight home games against Washington. Washington over 4 of 6 road games, and the over's hitting 10 of 13 meetings. The one concern is that Dallas, they actually do go under quite often at home. They've actually gone under in 11 of 15 games. So when I'm looking at these trends here, I'm just going to take the meeting trends between these two teams. When these two teams face off head-to-head, they tend to go over, despite them going under elsewhere. So give me the over, Dallas over 7 straight home games against Washington, and the over hitting in 10 of 13 meetings. I think that's just too much to ignore.
It is too much to ignore, but can anybody score? Nobody's like really good here. So, yeah, well, I was looking at this. I'd rather take the under if I was going to lead to a total as I was looking at this game, and it kind of made a lot of sense to me, trends aside. And all that just leads me to the home favorite -3. I'll take it before the hook gets me later.
Well,
so
Dallas,
that's right.
I like Dallas to cover 18 of 7 ATS in their last 25. So that's good there. The Washington Commanders, they're only 2 and 5 ATS in their last 7 against Dallas. So I think if you're leaning into the spread, I think I'd go with the home team too.
Fair enough. I like that. Pick the most out of that game. This one's going to be a fun one. I'm really interested to see what you have to say on this one. I think I'm already kind of giving you an idea as to where I'm leaning, so I'm going to let you go first. What are you thinking here for the Cleveland Browns Atlanta Falcons?
I think we're going to find out exactly what this new Falcons era is without Matt Ryan at quarterback. I think it's a good measuring stick game to see if they can close out games that they can possibly win at home, because they don't. I always say the best sports bet is hammer the Falcons' opponent at half when they're winning, when the Falcons are winning, because you're going to get plus value for the opponent, and more than likely the Falcons will blow the game like they did against the Saints in week 1. So give me Cleveland's money line. I think it's cheap enough to win outright. I don't trust the spread. I can see this game being a point or a field goal. Atlanta, they've lost 9 of 10 at home. They failed to cover 9 straight after winning the game prior. Cleveland 4-1 ATS and straight up in their last 5 games against the Falcons. And Atlanta 1-5 ATS their last 6 games at home. So we're just going to find it. For me, this is going to be, what Falcons team are we going to get? Are we going to move past Matt Ryan and that era, or are we going to get a new competitive era with Mariota and the weapons that they have with London and Pitts? So as a Falcons fan, I'm eager to see this game, but also as a Falcons game, I will never bet on them. So give me Cleveland's money line if I have to pick this game.
I like the fact that you're taking the money line and avoiding the spread. I think this game is going to be fun. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be the last team that scored. I like over 47 is what I have written down.
Atlanta over in 4 straight. So you got that.
Well, so I also have it listed as a hot trend. I managed to not note the trends, but apparently we had a few trends leaning towards the over in this game. So that's where I'm at, over 47.
Because I think if Mariota shows up in this one, then it will go over. I'm pretty confident the Browns will put up 20 on their own in this, and then it will just come down to, can the Falcons, can they get past Cleveland's defense? And Myles Garrett got in a car wreck. So, I don't really know his stats, and even if he does play, he got hurt in that wreck. So that will impact.
Did you see the car?
I did not, no.
I mean, he rolled it. I would be sore at a minimum if I was involved in that wreck. It looked like it was definitely at a decent speed, and the car was mangled. So I would assume that's probably taken a tick off of him for the week. Oh, this one's another good game. This is going to be a fun week. Cardinals-Panthers. What do you got?
I like the Cardinals money line. I think you're getting plus value for them. I think this would be a good underdog to just take outright in the week. Arizona, they're really good on the road. They've won 9 of 11 outright on the road. Carolina's really bad in general. 1-9 ATS last 10, 1-7 ATS at home in their last 8. The one thing I'm a little concerned about is Carolina. They're 5-0 ATS in their last 5 against the Cardinals. But I'm going to take Kyler over Baker in this one and go with Arizona's 9-2 ATS in their last 11 road games, and the fact they've won 9 of 11 on the road. They're just road warriors. So I'll take the Cardinals here.
I'm going to go on the other side. So I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. What's wrong with me? I'm betting on Joe Flacco and Baker Mayfield, which all sounds so wrong. But if we look at this, the Panthers opened at a +3. They're now a -1. 81% of the bets and 84% of the money. What? It's all on the Cardinals, but Carolina's getting all the movement, and that is a lot of movement, and that is a lopsided number. That doesn't make sense to me at all. I'm just going to cash in on this -1, push a 1-point money line win at worst. Baker Mayfield and Carolina at home. Makes me queasy, but that's where we're at.
If you don't like any of the spreads or you're uncertain about, because it is a fugly movement here, Arizona under 4 straight road games and 12 of 17 overall on the road. And then Carolina, 4 of their last 6 games overall have gone under. So maybe take the point total going under if the spread and the line movement there scares you off.
Yeah, and the thing there on the under is I feel like I lost a whole field goal worth of points. I'm a little late to the ball game. That's the only thing to also look into. Oh, all right. I'll actually be at this next game. Broncos Raiders. Fly out for Vegas in the morning. It's going to be a great weekend. I'm probably going to bet on Las Vegas in Las Vegas. And if the Broncos follow me there, show up, and put a whooping down after the 3 eggs they have laid so far this season, that would just pretty much be how my life runs. So it's expected. That being said, I still can't do it. Taking the Raiders. Raiders minus 2.5.
Yeah, the 2.5 is solid. I think maybe a field goal wins it. Raiders have won 6 straight at home against Denver. Denver's failed to cover 4 on the road. Denver 2-5 ATS last 7, 1-8 ATS last 9 against the Raiders, and 1-6 ATS last 7 on the road. I think we're all in agreement with Nathaniel Hackett, and the Russell Wilson connection hasn't really connected yet. Give me the under, though. I'll be different. I'll go into the different market. Raiders under 5 at home against Denver. Denver under in 11 of 14 games, under in 5 of 6 road games, and the under's cashed in 9 of 11 meetings. And then again, just a terrible offensive showing in 3 weeks for Denver. So I'll take the under here.
I actually really like the under. It's one of my side note bets. It also says, Ryan, do not bet the under when you attend the game right there next to it. So that's the only reason we're not going to touch that. I'll stick with the Vegas Raiders minus 2.5. I also like the under. I'm just not betting it because I don't want to contribute to having a boring game while I'm in attendance. Let's move on. We have Patriots Packers. Mac Jones is dead. His ankle is crushed. He's never going to run again. And this game looks weird to me. What do I have noted here? Fishy game in giant capital letters. So if we thought the movement and the numbers were weird in the Arizona-Carolina game, I think this one produces equally interesting numbers. And for those reasons, I don't want to bet it. If I was going to do anything, I'm going to take the Patriots spread, which does not sound right. But that's what makes sense.
Like the Packers covering seems like hanging fruit here. So I would probably go to the under. The under's hitting 4 straight for Green Bay, 6 of 9 home games for Green Bay, and it's hitting 5 of 6 meetings between these two teams. I don't think Brian Hoyer is going to light up the scoreboard anytime soon. And I do think New England's defense is capable of like holding Green Bay to, maybe 28 points at most. So I'll take the under here. I think that's just the safest bet on the board.
The under, he says. The under. I don't want to spread at home. Does look like low-hanging fruit. Yeah. All right. I would prefer to skip this game.
Is kind of what I'm
because
thinking.
we're pushing right on that 40 line. So I was looking at the under as well. I wish I could have gotten it up a little bit higher. Like once they start moving 3 and 3.5 points, I mean, I lost the whole field goal there. Yeah. So that really makes me think, and that's why it's very important to jump in on these lines pretty much as soon as they're posted. And that's the other good part about playing player props. Is things are kind of posted all the way through Sunday as we're waiting on injury news and there's late reports. So you can be involved in your daily activities, whether it be a family or a job, and still get to some of that action before it's pretty much juiced up. This game, so Buccaneers not playing in Tampa Bay. Apparently Florida is being crushed by Hurricane Ian right now. I heard a rumor that we are replaying this game or playing this game in Minnesota. Is that correct? I haven't double checked that.
I think they confirmed Tampa. They're going to stick it out in Tampa. I think that was confirmed maybe 30 minutes ago, maybe right before we hopped on.
Okay.
And there's Ian Rapper report, I believe, or Schefter. They look the same on Twitter, so it's one of them that reported it.
He could be the rap report this week. I saw a lot of funny gifs and memes coming out of the Florida area. Let's see. What do you have listed for this game? I have under 46.5 at list minus 110 available at several books, but it has a strange line.
Yeah, I this is actually a game I'm probably not gonna recommend. This is my least convicted game. Like, if there's always one game that stands out in the week where I circle, I'm like, okay, this is the one that I probably wouldn't touch. It's this one. I want to take the under because Brady's struggling right now, and the Chiefs played terrible on the road in Indy. Tampa under 4-5. They've also gone under in 4-6 when hosting Kansas City. But Kansas City goes over so much. They've gone over 8 of 11 overall and 5-6 on the road. So if I'm looking at everything, I guess I'll take Tampa Bay's money line, especially the way Andy Reid blew that game in Indianapolis. That was just a weird one. Tampa Bay, they just seem to play well at home, according to all the trends, but it's Patrick Mahomes. It's tough to bet against him, so I don't recommend betting this game. This is one I stay away from. Gun to head, you're forcing me to pick, I'll take Tampa Bay's money line.
I would also recommend staying away from this game. I would like to point out that you see that we have 70% of the wagers and 80% of the money roughly all coming in on Kansas City. And none of that seems to add up. Kansas City was plus 1.5, like 45 minutes ago. Just a little bit before we came on the show, I was looking at this line and scratching my head. How did they take in all those wagers and go from a -1 to plus 1.5? And now I see we're back down into a current of a half point. So this line's moving all over the place. I don't know. It's been a hectic week for the Bucs. Are you going to relocate? Are you going to evacuate? Are we going to play here? Are we going to play there? I'm sure they confirmed it, so nobody's going to worry about that anymore. Are they taking care of family members? Is everybody accounted for? That mental stuff really seems to, we're talking about the highest level athletes in the NFL. The 1% of the 1% all the way through all the tiers. And I feel like any little slip from your normal routine can make things difficult. I just don't want to bet them. I feel like the Bucs could win, but the Bucs have had a tough week, so the Chiefs should win. I don't want to touch the under because the Chiefs score too much, or do they not score this week? If you don't feel great about something, there's really nothing wrong with just avoiding. And that's where I'm at on that game. So nothing official for me there. And we'll close it out. We got the last game of the week, Los Angeles Rams at San Francisco. I am not on to do the overreactions. I actually feel like that's how we find our inefficient pricings in the market, is when everybody else overreacts to something that they probably shouldn't have. I see that we still have the Niners as a home favorite, but they're not getting that standard 3. Are we going to see the team we saw in Denver, or does Jimmy G get some cohesiveness with the receivers and we get a little bit more offense coming out of San Francisco again?
Well, I think with the Niners, it's kind of tricky because they're really injured. And Shanahan traditionally has a running back he can lean on in successful offenses he's been with. And it's not that he can't lean on Wilson. He's just choosing not to. And it's because they're injured. And he basically is saying Wilson can't carry the ball 20 times every game for 17 weeks. So I think the offense is kind of handicapped with the fact that Shanahan can't lean on a running game like he wants to. So I'm going to go with the under. Rams under 4 or 5 games overall. The under's hitting 4 or 5 meetings between these two teams. The under's hitting 7 of 9 meetings when playing at San Francisco's home venue. San Francisco under in 6 straight and under in 4 or 5 at home. So that's kind of where I'm going with this one. Give me the under.
That's what I had in my notes as well. And I have next to that I'm not going to place that wager. If everybody takes a look here, we had it open at 48.5 or 48. And it's now down to 42.5. So I suppose you could still take it, but anything past 42 is no-go zone 100%. I prefer not to lose a field goal. This one we've lost 2 field goals. This one may be something where I try and get something live if I feel like I lost that much equity pre-match. All right, Thom. Well, that closes out another excellent week of, I would say, wonderful bets. We're gonna improve the record from the 4-9 that we had last week. That's definitely not going to be a repeat for us. Do you have anything that you want to lay officially as maybe like 2 or 3 picks as an official play, and we'll do some head-to-head game here?
Yeah, sure. So I'll just go ahead and take. I'll take the Browns, I guess. Give me the Browns. I'm kind of just throwing darts at the board right here. I'll go ahead. You know what? Since we got a game tonight, give me the under tonight for Thursday Night Football. And let's go deep into the schedule here. We'll go with under Denver and Vegas as well. I'll take the under in that one.
Very nice. So I'll start with the Thursday night game. I'll go ahead and take the Cincinnati -3 side of that. Man, I'm going to do it to myself. I'm going to take the Jets +3.5 on the road in Pittsburgh. And I'm going to take that Cleveland-Atlanta game to go over 47.
Okay.
I like those three.
Okay.
I like those three. So get your popcorn ready when you watch your team this week. Those are my favorite ones right now.
I like it. We got a lot.
All right. Well, that's the end. Yeah. All right. Well, that's the end of our episode 2, week 4 NFL breakdown. Enjoy, guys. I hope you guys win some bets. Have a good one.